What's up, guys, and welcome to the Hoonigan Under Pressure Summit. A pretty basic summit with, well, let's say a lot of slipstream and a lot of shortcuts. The rewards are pretty basic too. It's for bronze, it's 50k XP. For silver, it's 1 tuning part for Street Tier 2. So, pretty boring. For gold, we get the Chevrolet Corvette C7 Stingray. We need that car in that summit anyway as a loan car, so well, not that good. And for platinum, you get the Kill All Tires Underglow, which is, yeah, let's say it's okay. It's not that bad. It's new, so it's okay. And for 3 plate events, you get 50k XP2. For 6 plate events, a second Street Tier 2 tuning part, and for 9 plate events, 100k bucks, and of course, again, 100k summit points. So you should play all 9 events to get that 100k extra points. That's it, and I hope you enjoy the video, and of course, leave a like and a subscription. Okay, as always, we will start the summit at the top. So the first race with the loaned car, so the Chevrolet Corvette C7. Pretty good car, not that bad, but not that good too. So yeah, as a loaned car, it has no tuning parts, no pro settings, nothing we can do with it. It is pretty good itself, but it's not that fast. And to comprehend that, we can just use slipstream. So I have Toasty for the whole summit doing the slipstream part with me, and you will see most of that races are pretty straight lines, so you may use slipstream there too. One important thing is that these are time attack events, so at every checkpoint you get a new time and it runs down to 0. You shouldn't get to 0, but yeah. One big thing about that, and a problem many people had, is that you might use the AI difficulty on 1, because if you set it on 5, the time is pretty low and you may not get into the next or even the first checkpoint. So might change the difficulty settings to AI level on 1. After that, you may see that the race is pretty easy. We have pretty much only slipstream, a little bit of guttering at the end, at the mid part of the race at 45%. For those who don't know, again, guttering means that you have 2 tires, left or right, inside on the off-road of the corner and get dragged through the corner by the game. Just like we had that in the Crew 2, but nobody really used it, I guess. It's pretty basically the most important technique in the game. It works in nearly every race, it works for most of all cars, and you might just learn it. It's not that easy, but it's pretty good. Just basic things for guttering. As I said, 2 tires inside, off-road the corner, you have to steer in still, and don't use full gas. Use half gas and that works. Okay, 78% of that race you can use a jump over that hill. I didn't use that because we just saw it in the last round and the time was pretty good, so we just did it like that. For those who wanna see how it works, if it works, we will try that out on Sunday evening in the stream, so look into the video description, Twitch link, and we'll see you on Sunday evening in German time. It's at around 8 p.m. So second race, and pretty much more important than the first one, and the third one will be, yeah, same amount important. It's this race is, most of you will hate it, I know it, but it's okay. We'll start with a lot of slipstream like we have in Kiss Me Combi, same race part, so pretty easy. Not that special, but after that, I don't know, it's 30-40%, we'll start a lot of shortcuts. Well, it's 2 shortcuts, but it's pretty long shortcuts, which lead to, I think, 70%, so it's 30% of the race only shortcuts. And yeah, I guess 30, 20, 30, 20, 30, 40 seconds you can just yeah, shorten up with that cut. At around 37%, there it is. You just take the power drift zone, nitro and handbrake, steering in on the left, and you will get that steering in. That's the power drift. To get into the tree, hit it and be dragged into the off-road parts, just straight up looking to the next checkpoint. Getting that, driving through the next checkpoint into the next off-road part, again to the next checkpoint until you hit the road again. At 67% we'll get off-road again, just driving up that hill. You can do that pretty slow, don't have to be that fast, and that's pretty much everything you need for that race. I don't know, I think you will be in the finish line around 2:30, but without all these cuts around 2:50, 3 minutes, I don't know, which will lead you to don't reach at all 100k points. So yeah, might use the shortcuts here. I know many people don't like shortcuts, but yeah, it's an arcade racer, so please don't be so rude with it. There are shortcuts, so people are using it, and if Ubisoft don't want the shortcuts, they could remove it. They don't. Yeah, just accept it. They are there, and we will use them to get the points we need, because there will always be competitive players using it, even if you don't like it, and that's why you should be using it too. Okay, second race, 118k points. Not that much, but that's Motorfest in the Crew 2. We just had better points. The third race with the Mercedes SLR is pretty much the exact same thing. We have a long straight line at the beginning and a lot of shortcuts through the race, so yeah. And that race gives a big amount of points, so you might use the shortcuts here even more likely than in the Huracan. Okay, pretty much same start, long straight line, slipstream. Then at 24% we cut left out, try to get that with nitro so you can keep your top speed. After that, hitting the road again on 33% TH, you get left off-road again. Don't hit the wall, you can take these, I don't know, well, these signs in the middle between the walls so you don't get that slowed down. At 50% you can use the power drift again. We used to use respawn there, but we don't. We just tried it out. Toasty used the power drift as I did here, and I used the respawn. The power drift is faster. Okay, after that, guttering the right corner, and then at 61% the biggest of the shortcut starts. We are driving left outside through the serpentine curves, down the hill, right off the next corner into the checkpoint, and then straight up to the checkpoint at the bottom of the hill, 400 meters, and that driving in on the left side again into the off-road until you hit the road at 75%. Pretty big shortcut, not that hard at all, but sparing a lot of time, so just use it. Don't complain, just use it, okay? I know many people hate it, but it's there, so we will be using it. Okay. And I'm one of the people, I'm using it, but I wouldn't be mad if it wasn't there. I would be driving clean, but if that's the best way and the easiest way, then I will show that. Okay, again, end of the race, pretty easy, guttering a little bit, taking the corners mostly clean, and then you'll get a time around 2:45 to 2:50 with around 147k points, which is pretty good for a summit, okay? 150k points is pretty good. Okay, next thing is the Dodge Viper. I think pretty based car, good thing, stable enough, steering in enough, but the race is kind of problematic, and I did that race pretty bad, but I will show it just so you see how it should be done while seeing how I did it wrong. Okay, firstly, starting just straight, use slipstream 20%, cut inside on the right, then you have that pretty sharp corner at 25%, just use the gutter. We didn't here, we failed the gutter both. Then go in slipstream again and top speed. After that, there's just a few slight corners you can just cut in, like at 47-48% here, you can just cut through that, and then the big thing happens, the big shortcut. And I did that completely wrong, okay? We get the checkpoint at 65%. After that, we want to cut up that hill and jump into the next checkpoint. What I did wrong here was I had a pretty good angle, but I used the air control too late to the left and couldn't steer right again, and then I hit the road and slide it off on the left. If you do it right, you hit the road and just be completely straightforward with, it's not easy. You don't have to use that for a good time, but if you hit the road perfectly with air nitro and can drive forward straight, it's sparing, I think, 4 to 5 seconds at least. If you do that with slipstream for the rest of the race, of course, even better, but hard enough to do that alone. This jump, yeah, you saw how I did it. I did it wrong. Not that easy. Okay. Next race, again, the Corvette Viper is... Wow, Dodge Viper. Ouch. Next race is pretty much... I don't have anything to say here, so I will keep your time spared. I'll just cut the whole race, I think, except one part. Again, starting, you see just slipstreaming, and that's the whole race. It's absolutely nothing special, nothing you can do here better than slipstreaming and braking a little bit on 1 or 2 curves. 25%. I did a power drift too early, as you can see, failing the whole thing. I think just braking and driving the corner clean will be better. And after that, there's nothing until 70%, where you can just cut through one corner straight. It's pretty much nothing. You will see it on the map. You will just do it automatically, but I thought I can't show nothing of the race, so yeah, pretty much that's the only thing that's really important, the cut at 75%. After that, again, I hit those trees at 88%, maybe avoid that and just drive a little bit slower and cleaner. After that, it's pretty much driving into the finish. The race is pretty boring, nothing too special, lot of straight lines, easy corners, nothing to show here. After that, the last race, again, loaned car, again, the Corvette C7, and again, a race where I can tell you some things. Yeah, we have cuts here. Okay, pretty easy. The start, again, just straight, just use slipstream. Again, slipstream in this summit is, I think, in every race, 5 to 10 seconds faster. Just because it's so much straight lines. After you hit the city at 35%, the big cutting starts. It's not that hard to see, but I think I should show it. At 45%, we just take the corner on the left inside. You may not see that in the first try, but after that, there's a right corner, and you get the better angle if you hit left on the 45% corner. Then at 58%, we can cut through that little side road here. You don't see that first, but if you drive Grand Race a lot, you will just automatically do it. After that, you just hit the highway again at 70%, and that's pretty much everything in this race. The race itself is pretty short, nothing too special, and after you leave the city, it's just one slight braking point on the highway before you hit the finish line, and I of course missed it. I braked too low. I didn't brake enough, and yeah, hit the wall again just before finishing the race. Okay, 150k points. Again, it's not that good, but yeah, it's Motorfest, not the Crew 2. I hate it. In the Crew 2, for me, it was basically every race was okay. I need 130k points easy, and that's not in Motorfest. Motorfest is just different. The points are basically all shit. Okay, the escapes. Yeah, pretty much we will do every escape with the Bugatti Santo Dieci, because it's the most based car for escapes. It's pretty stable, it's pretty fast, it has a good acceleration, it's just good at everything without lacking too much in any of the other things. So yeah, we just use that. Of course, if you can do that, use the Agera. It's faster, but not that easy. Okay. Yeah, the first escape is just driving in the other direction and straight up through the cycle, and that's it. At 9,000 meters, you can just slightly left out of the next cycle, and that's it. Pretty much the hardest part is here to avoid the traffic. I think that's the biggest thing, not only for the first, but for every escape, to avoid the traffic. It's not that easy, but you will get that. It's just a matter of time, okay? If you always hit the traffic, yeah, that's bad, but that's a thing you can just outrun by driving it more often. Then somehow, sometime, you will get a good run. Pretty basically the second escape, you drive straight forward into it. You could use an airplane start with changing to the vehicle and just jumping inside of the escape, but I won't recommend it. It's good, it's faster, but it's not that easy, and yeah, not needed for the summit at all. The second escape is a little bit harder, I guess, for the traffic, because you only have the 2 roads on the first part of that escape. That makes it pretty difficult to avoid the traffic. After that, hitting the highway just full speed. When you reach the 6,000 meters curve, you can just jump through it and try to get to the powerboat, and then just drive until you get hit by the escape. But I think most of you will get hit whilst changing to the boat, but that's okay. Summit points, completely okay. There might be a different route for the second escape, but I didn't try that yet. Maybe we do that on Sunday in stream. Okay, third escape, 500 meters right outside, jump on the highway and stay there until, I guess it's 4,200 meters, where you just jump off the highway. Again, here it's just the traffic. Using nitro, and try to keep your car on around 470 kilometers per hour, maybe 480. 4,200 meters into the escape, you just jump outside through the river and try to hit the road again at around 5,000 meters, and then just go for it as far as you can. Again, traffic is pretty bad here, but try it often enough and you will get through it. It's really, it is possible. It is hard, but it is possible, and it's a matter of time and a little bit a matter of training. It's not that I used a lot of time for all the escapes, but it's, yeah, to avoid traffic is something you can learn a little bit. Of course, not completely, it is random, but it is something you can learn a little bit to be better at it and make it more easy for yourself. Okay, ended the summit at around 1.25 million points. Is basically completely fine for a Motorfest summit. I hope you get anything close there. Leave a comment, leave a like, and of course leave slipstream opportunities for other players in the commentary. And I hope to see you soon on the next summit guide, and bye bye.